This is the Hoof GP, and this is far from a perfect cow's foot. I can spot the problem straight away. Can you? Believe me, it's a big one.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
As a professional cattle hoof trimmer, the second you lift up a cow's hoof, your eyes are scanning from top to bottom, from heel to toe, for any problems, whether that cow's lame or not lame. This cow is lame, and I knew she was. So the second I picked up her hoof, it didn't surprise me at all to see what I spotted almost instantly. Despite knowing where the problem is, we start by balancing our feet and modelling out that inner portion of our hoof. Then we go on the hunt, or rather in this case, the reveal. Usually when we work on cows like this, they're perfectly calm. The KVK keeps them really nice and secure. There are 2 belly bands around her waist, keeping her up and completely still. Right, where is this problem? Yes, obviously there is a crack on the inner claw, but is that really where it starts? I don't think it is. Truth be told, I never even noticed that crack when I first picked up her hoof. This is what I spotted. The periopal horn around her heel bulb is completely detached, and that leads me to think this is going to be a very graphic trim. The smell of this cow's hoof is extremely strong. I can smell rotting flesh. What you can see is dermatitis attacking the corium, and as it attacks the corium dies and it rots away. It's congealed, which is why it's slightly greenish yellow, and that smell is seriously pungent. If it gets on your clothes or on your fingers or your hands, trust me, you'll be smelling it for an awful lot longer than the duration of just this trim. Anyway, we're progressing through this trim, but there's a long way to go.
Quiet, please!
That's not this cow mooing, by the way. This one is perfectly silent. It's the one's waiting.
We've now done the easy part, the part that is visually pleasing and the part that is the quickest to do. We've removed the bulk of the material from over the top of this lesion, but this is the part that truly matters, the nitty gritty, the finer details. Watch as I pull my knife through the hoof horn. It flexes away from the interior part of her hoof. That lets us know that this is truly detached, and if it's detached, all it's doing is hindering the healing process of this cow's hoof. So it needs to go. During this trim, we are going to absolutely do everything we can to remove every shred of detached hoof horn. Try to keep an eye on the parts that you think need removed and see if it gets done. This one might sound a little strange, but I love cows' eyes. It's like you can see right into their soul and see what they're thinking. Occasionally, when I watch these videos back, I think the swipes of my knife can seem a little rough. But watch how gently I place the edge of my knife where I want to make the cut. And once it's initiated, I power through it quickly. And that's possibly why sometimes it doesn't look all that smooth and gentle. In trims like this, there's always one piece of hoof horn that presents a problem. And in this case, it's this piece right here. Got it. The problem isn't removing the hoof horn itself, it's removing it without cutting into the corium. As you can see, I'm holding some blue roll tightly against the lesion in an effort to bruise the area. That's because I touched the corium with the back of my knife, and that has caused it to bleed ever so slightly. When you're trimming slices of hoof horn, like what I've just removed, you need to be incredibly precise. One false move on slices like that can be cataclysmic. They can be terrible for the cow and really hinder the healing process. But as you're just about to see, that was not a fatal blow. All I did was touch the corium, which caused it to bleed very slightly. Right, let's take a proper look at exactly what we're dealing with. This is dermatitis, completely attacking the corium. And this part here is where the lesion actually began. That rougher part of protruding flesh you can see is an ulcer. It's burst through the bottom of her hoof, and that has let infection get in. It's let dirt and debris into the cavity, and dermatitis has done its thing from there on out, creating this mess. We've removed all of the overburdening hoof horn, and now there's no cavity for dirt, debris and bacteria to hide in. This will be open to the elements once the bandage comes off, and fresh air will really help it to completely heal. In the meanwhile, this salicylic acid and iodine will do its thing to kill that dermatitis and begin the healing process. This has been the Hoof GP. Thank you for listening and watching. And if you've enjoyed what you've seen, make sure you've subscribed for more videos just like this.